jambalaya, and this one is Creole style. And remember, if I can cook it, so can you. So go nowhere. Let's create. So let's get started. And the one I'm preparing today, once again, is going to be Creole jambalaya. It's not going to be Cajun. There are some difference. Primary is going to be the fact that I'm going to be using my tomato sauce, which is homemade for the Creole. The Cajun one doesn't use tomato sauce. And this one homemade is going to have some chunks too, so I grind the tomato, but I chop a little bit. Another difference, which is key, is the fact I'm going to be using shrimp for my Creole. And for the Cajun, that was rare. And also some of the mix of the ingredient. The Cajun one tend to be more pepper-centric, so of course, this one have other additional ingredients, which I'm going to go through. So I already spoke about the tomatoes and the shrimp. I'm going to have some smoked andouille sausage. This is how it's spelled. This is key for the jambalaya. Extra virgin olive oil, I'm going to Tunisian, you can use any. I'm going to have the Trinity. Most meals in Louisiana relies on the Trinity, and jambalaya is not an exception, especially both the Creole and the Cajun one. And the Trinity consists of chopped green bell pepper, chopped celery, see how small, and chopped onions. It's about quarter onion. I was about 1/3, maybe 1/2 of the bell pepper, about 2 or 3 little sticks of the celery. Rice, I go long grain. Everything's going to depend about the amount. I have 1.5 cups of white rice. You're going to need some stock, whether it's chicken, fish, seafood, shrimp, doesn't matter. The amount is going to depend on the solids. It's a relationship there. Here I have 2 cups, I might need more. You're also going to need the spices. I have black ground pepper, red ground pepper. The amount of this one, it's going to depend on how spicy you want it. I also have some white ground pepper and minced some fresh garlic. I like it fresh. I also have some salt. I might have to add more. I have to taste it in. Thyme. And I have some smoked paprika. Paprika would do, but I have some smoked paprika. And as optional ingredient, I have some fresh rosemary. And finally, and this is optional too, I have some green onions. I like to cut the bottom, not this part, but the delicious part. And I chop it, you can garnish this at the end or even put it as part of the meal. And I have some extra garlic. This one is not minced, this one is chopped, because I want to add the strong flavor. And that a fantastic lineup. Let's go next. So you're going to preheat your pot. And you're going to start with oil, but this is optional. If you happen to have some unsalted butter, just a tiny bit, you can do that just to get things rolling. This is not needed, by the way. You can go with the oil, but I had some butter and I decided to add a little bit, and you can add some of your oil. You don't need a lot. You don't even need to cover the entire surface area. And this is what you're going to do. You're going to cook some of this meat. And by the way, there might be a difference in the process when it comes to doing this as it relates between the Creole and the Cajun. Once again, this is Creole. I'm going to cook them all. You're going to do this for a couple minutes until things are nicely colored. After about 2-3 minutes, now you move the meat, the sausages and the shrimp to the side a little bit, and you bring the trinity: celery, green peppers, onions. And you move them around and cook them. And by the way, the heat is a medium, maybe a notch above medium. And you're going to cook this baby here on the side for about a minute or two. Yeah, beautiful. After a minute or two, it's starting to caramelize. Add the garlic that you cut or chop. Not the minced one, but the chopped one. Put it here. Move it around for a few seconds and start mixing everything around. Mixing the flavors. Then what you do is get some of that tomato. See how some of them are in chunks, some of them are not. Tomato base. Use about maybe 3 tomatoes, 3.5. You can buy them in the can, but I like my stuff fresh. Start moving stuff around. Actually gonna do it all. See how beautiful. You can increase the heat a little bit, a couple notches above medium. Because what you're going to do now is to bring those flavors. And what you do is, the ingredients I introduced earlier, you're going to mix them. I use a brush. And you're going to add them. I'm going to put a couple of these. Rosemary too, who cares? You can add them a little bit later, you can add them now, doesn't matter. You're going to mix stuff around. Stir it, you might need a little more ingredients, especially in smoked paprika and salt. You have enough tomatoes here by the look of it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the rice. I have 1.5 cups, you might need 2 cups. I'm at another 1/2 cup. So let me do that. What I'm doing is I'm mixing that rice with the stuff together, getting those flavors. Ooh, it smells so good. So what I did is I added the fish stock. I just added the fish stock. And this fish stock I created with some codfish and fish, regular fish, you know. But you can buy in the store. Now the amount, I added about 2 cups, maybe a little bit more. I kept adding a little bit more because the key thing is this. When you put the thing and you trying to touch the salt, especially the rice, I have about this much. This is about maybe 1/4 to 1/2 inch. So you're doing it by eye because you have to account for the other solids. It's not rice to necessary rice to liquid. And you're going to let it simmer for a little bit. Now that it's simmering, what I'm going to do, I'm going to reduce the heat to medium. And I'm going to cover this baby. And in about 3 minutes, I'm going to take a look, because this is an observational stuff. And you have to take a look, you know, maybe every 3 or so minutes, maybe every 4 minutes. Because you have to look at certain conditions, which I'm going to show you once those conditions are getting there. You have to see it. It's hard to explain in words. So let me give it about 3 minutes to come back and check it out. It's been about 3 minutes, not nearly there yet, so I'm going to cover it. Let me run it for another 4 or 5 minutes to see what happens. So it's been about 10 minutes. So what you're going to notice, right, start moving down a little bit. This is not quite ready yet. But I'm going to move it around, stir a little bit. Once again, it's not ready yet. I just don't want the bottom burn, so I'm going to reduce the heat a couple notches above low. Going to mix things around a little bit. Going to cover up. Going to check it again in about 5 minutes. Here's a little trick. Going to stir this a little bit more. Because I'm keeping an eye. And you can put a little bit more smoked paprika. A little bit, you know, like sprinkle around. Give it a nice color and smoky taste. That is in addition to what you use already. See how beautiful? This is not ready yet, by the way. You don't want the rice to be crunchy, you want it cooked. Once again, a notch below low, a notch above low. A notch above low. It's not ready, so let's continue. And look at this beauty. And then what you do is optional. You can garnish with some of the green onion with a nice little flavor. And it's ready to go. See how beautiful? See the shrimp, the sausage. Isn't that great?